Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill says he was underutilized in KC, prefers Tua's accuracy over Mahomes' rocket arm.
As far as accuracy wise, I'm going with Tua all day.
So which one would you rather have? The deep ball where you got to scramble around the field to try to go find it? Or do you want that accuracy to hit you right in the bread basket on the run?
I want it to hit me right in the bread basket just like I did in the Buffalo Bills game and take it 70. And the rest is history.
And again, this is not a shot at anybody.
Right.
This is just stuff that had to be said.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said.
Will Tyreek Hill regret the day he left Mahomes for Tua? And Zay, if you want to kick us off, and Zach, you can follow. I'll pick it up last.
Man, I tell people this all the time. The humidity in Florida messes with people's brain cells. I'm telling you, it's too hot down there. You need to cool it off. You need to cool off that state of Florida. It's way too hot. The man had 159 targets last year. The year before that, 135. I believe he got hurt in 2019. He only played 12 games. In 2018, he had 137 targets. How many more targets do you want? Do you want 200 plus targets? I don't understand. How do you have the audacity to go on air or to go to a press conference and say you was underutilized in KC? The offense ran through you. How the hell are you going to say he was underutilized? Bananas, to say the least. To answer the question, I think he's going to regret leaving the Kansas City Chiefs for the Miami Dolphins for the simple fact that Tua is not a thrower. You know, it's just weird to say as a quarterback. He's not a guy who could throw the ball, and it's weird because I don't know what Tyreek Hill is expecting in his Miami Dolphins offense. I don't know if he's like anticipating to be playing ghost, so he's open all the time, and he's not expecting anyone to be around or the defense to disturb what Tua could do as a quarterback. I think if we're talking about college Tua, someone that who's shown us a lot of tenacious moments, a lot of times when you saw him, he's like, wow, this guy's a great quarterback. And maybe that's what Ty Hill was talking about. I don't see what he's talking about right now. This guy I have to really see it to believe it, because I don't believe anything that Ty Hill is talking at the moment.
So if you guys remember, this whole thing started about a month or two ago when the Dolphins social media team posted that video of Tua underthrowing that ball to Tyreek when he had to run back. And I gave Tyreek Hill a lot of credit for this. Shortly after that video came out, he posted another video of highlights of Tua just throwing him seeds throughout practice. And I gave him credit for that because he was being a really good teammate. Tua, he's had his ups and downs, but it feels like for the most part, the majority of the media and the fans have just been bashing him, saying he's a disappointment, and Tyreek Hill had his quarterback's back. But when it comes to these comments, here's where I'm a little confused. A lot of people are pointing at the taking Tua's accuracy over Mahomes, and like that's the crazy thing. And while that is pretty crazy, like going back to the comments on how he was underutilized, 159 targets, as they said, that was 7th in the NFL last year. So in the top 10 of highest targets. And he actually wasn't the guy who directly said it. I believe Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, it was where a lot of these comments were flowing through him. And I just had the thought, like, I would just hate to be a professional agent in sports when you have to deal with this. And like, who is Drew Rosenhaus as an agent to be taking shots at Andy Reid, a Hall of Fame coach that has a Super Bowl ring, that has led this Kansas City Chief team to 4 consecutive home AFC championship games? And honestly, guys, my main takeaway from listening to that podcast was the Chiefs and the Jets should both be really happy that Tyreek Hill, that they moved on, that they do not have him on their team, because these comments really turned me off. Like, I don't understand what he could gain by throwing shots at the Kansas City Chiefs after they had so much success. And after in Miami, all they've done is practice for a few times, and he's already comparing Tua to Patrick Mahomes. Like, I just don't think that's a move that's going to work out. And once again, as a Jet guy who, you know, my team was debating giving up the number 10 overall pick, I'm pretty happy that they just decided to draft Garrett Wilson and avoid this drama.
Yeah, so I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to regret the day that he left Kansas City. In fact, I think he's going to be feeling even better. You know, I had to really go back and think about it, because when I first saw it, my reaction was just like, yeah. I'm like, what kind of dope is he smoking? Watch Goodell may pull up to his door and drug test him. But when I actually listened to the words of what he was saying, especially when it comes to the accuracy part, then I had to take it and literally listen to what he's saying. Sometimes we get thrown off and we think he means that Tua is a greater quarterback than Mahomes. We all know he's not, and he knows he's not, and he didn't say he was. He is a better accurate quarterback. Nothing against Mahomes. He's a more gifted quarterback, and more than likely the quarterback that you would want to start on your team over the other. But still, as far as accuracy and putting the ball where you want it, which is in between the 1 and the 5, or in Tyreek Hill case, the 1 and the 0, that's a guy in Tua, especially on them short routes, that you want throwing you the football, because we all know he could do the rest with it. So I think that's what Tyreek Hill was stating when he talks about the accuracy part. Now, when we get to the just overall landscape of everything, I think he's happy. I think he got what he wanted, which was the money. He already won a championship. It's not like a guy who never won a championship yet, and all he's focusing on is winning a championship. No, he won a ring already. He been to a couple of AFC championship games. He just wants the bag and wants the contract that he got, and he got it in a place where it's a good place to live, a good place to raise your family, and it's going to be a very offensively friendly offense. And I think he wins. Like, some people play for a contract. Like, a lot of people think everybody loves the game of football. Not everybody loves the game of football. Some people play the game of football to get the money and dip. That's why we see players get paid all the time, and then we like, where are you now? I'm paid, baby. I don't gotta play today, baby. That's Tyreek Hill. He got his bag, bro. He said he's good. He won a ring. Financially, he's set for the rest of his life, him and his family. I don't think he's worried about Kansas City. And in fact, I think this offense suits him better, because I can look at the numbers and say, well, he wasn't underutilized, but I know my eye test too. I can also use the eye test and say there was a couple times where I thought Tyreek Hill could have been used a little bit more in short routes that could turn 5 into 50. You know, when you look at just trying to hit the home run, when the home run is not there, Tyreek Hill was used as a decoy. And my guy, Travis Kelce, was eating off of Tyreek Hill. So I think when you go in this offense with a guy in Mike McDaniels, we saw what he did with Debo. If he can do what he did for Debo with Tyreek Hill, then expect a lot of deep routes, expect a lot of short catches and go where he'll turn 5 into 50. And that's what Tyreek Hill wants to run. That's literally what he said in the podcast. I want the ball in my hands because I can do something with it. Tyreek Hill is going to be fine. He may not have a greater quarterback than Mahomes, and he knows that, but he's going to have, number one, financial stability, and he's going to be able to be more involved in this offense. And I think it's a win-win for Tyreek, honestly.
Yeah, so Tyreek, I agree. He went to Miami for the money. That's Kansas City said, no, we're not making you the highest paid receiver in the NFL. Miami did. But looking at this from all perspectives, I'm just like, what is the point of Tyreek Hill dragging the Chiefs in the mud when, like, I think Kansas City's, it will take them some time, but I think big picture, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid will be okay without Tyreek Hill. And I can't 100% say that about Tyreek Hill with Tua and Mike McDaniel. He seems like a smart mind, but he's never coached a game yet. So it's no guarantee. And once again, I'm not blaming Tyreek for going to Miami. He wanted the bag. That's good for him. They decided to give him the bag. But at the same time, I don't know what the purpose of just dragging the Chiefs in the mud is after you had all this success going to 4 straight AFC championship games.
Well, I would say this. I can't really answer that part, because if you didn't get the answer from Tyreek, it's impossible for me to give you the answers on why he threw the Chiefs under the bus like that. I agree, he did kind of throw them under the bus. But needless to say, I think the Chiefs will be fine, but not in the fine where, if I could explain myself here very clearly and authentically, I think with Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs, when you had Mahomes, when you had Tyreek Hill, when you had Travis Kelce, when you had Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, they was unstoppable. Like, it was hard to beat the Chiefs. You had to play a complete 60-minute game. Now that you took away one of the big dragons on the team, it won't be impossible to beat them. Now, it's not going to be easy still, because you still got Mahomes, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and you still got a Hall of Fame coach, but it's going to be easier. And if you're around the league, you will rather say, I don't want to worry about Tyreek Hill. I'll take the Chiefs like that, because there's points where Mahomes said it. I just throw it. F it. Tyreek Hill's down there. Nah, F it. Juju McSchuster is going to be down there now, bro. So I think either way, they will miss each other, and it's subjective who you think is going to miss each other more.
Yeah, I mean, I think, y'all both made great points, but I think the issue here is that Ty Hill went to a Miami Dolphins team. Like you said, he got the money, and that was the primary focus, the bag. Now he has to focus on winning. I don't think the Dolphins are set up to win in the AFC anytime soon. They're basically based upon how the AFC is framed and how it looks at the moment. When you're looking at everything that is happening on that Dolphins team, they're still missing a quarterback. You know, and that's at the end of the day. Tua, you can say anything he wants about Tua. We've seen Tua for the last couple seasons. He's not the guy. It don't matter. Like we saw about this Dolphins team last season, how their team looked good. Their team looked like they had a good roster up and down. They looked like they had a solid defense, a solid offense. They could make some noise. The only noise they made was going back to a high pick in the draft. So it's something that when you look at this team, like how do you restructure it and focus on winning? And how could this team win in a tough division as it is, but also in a tough conference where damn near a good team is going to be left out for sure?
My last point, and I'm done on this topic, is that I just think Tyreek Hill is going to flourish in Miami. Like, I know Miami's unknown. The coach is unknown. Like, we think he's going to be good. We think he's going to be this phenom. The guy went to Yale University. He's a smart, intelligent dude. He sounds intelligent. He's very authentic. He's very funny, very charismatic. We don't know too much about him other than what we saw as an OC in San Francisco. But I think he's the real deal. I think when you look at this offense and just me picturing it based on the acquisitions, what they're going to do, I think it's going to be a lot of sweeps, a lot of get the ball to the playmakers and let them do something with it and utilize their speed on the football field. And I think that's where Tyreek Hill can flourish instead of just only being a decoy in certain situations where he was over the top in Kansas City.
Yeah, I think the quarterback is the number one thing with that statement. Like, if Tua is not that guy, like, I think we all are in agreement, like, more likely than not, we don't know if he could be the guy that could bring the Dolphins to the promised land. Like, with that in mind, I'm curious to see like how that would balance out Tyreek and his thoughts on the decision that he ultimately made, because obviously he made a lot of money. That's good for him. But at the same time, Kansas City, they've won the AFC West for the past 6 years. The Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 20 years. So that's the line he drew.
And speaking of Tua, quarterback list is coming right up. Let's see where Tua and the other quarterbacks, 32 quarterbacks, is ranked. Ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all not getting tired of watching In the Huddle over and over again, so like and subscribe to the channel and receive these new notifications of new uploaded content that will be coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.